Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at the position 4 player of my current team and watching a tiny pub. It's been a while since I did a position 4 replay, so if you're a support player and you appreciate and enjoy this type of content and you're excited to learn about the position 4 role, I would really appreciate it if you could smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. And now I want to tell you guys a little bit about Dota Plus from Overwolf. This is a free stats app you guys can download right now that's going to show you your stats for the last 3 months. So if you want to know your games played, your MMR, your win rate, your XPM, your GPM, all of these things you need to track to know how well you're doing and what you need to change to gain MMR, you can get for absolutely free. On top of that, the biggest reason why you need to download Dota Plus, at least for me, is the ban suggestions. Basically, it tells you what the enemy team is good at. It tells you their best heroes, what they've been winning with. You just ban it. You might be wondering why your good heroes, why your best heroes keep getting banned. It's because of Dota Plus. The enemy team is using it and banning out your best heroes. So go download Dota Plus right now, and I'll see you guys there. So he's playing Tiny in this game. He's got a pretty regen-based build. Qs up to 2 mangoes, definitely standard stuff. I like the double branches, winlays, tangos, because I feel like going boots one set of tangos just isn't the way to optimize tree grab. It's a little bit better to have some stats and have tangos, just more tangos and even a sentry, so you can really play to win the lane. I think a lot of people get the position 4 role wrong. They put too much of an emphasis on roaming and not enough emphasis on the lane. I can tell you even from experience, like I'm an offlane player, right? I think way too many position 4 players have no clue how to stabilize the lane and they focus on just like moving around. And that might not be used, so regardless, let's get into the gameplay. I want to watch what Moose does, how he plays the Tiny, how he finds kills on the mid lane, and how he secures the lane, and let's get into it. So the key to playing melee heroes is playing the tree line. Anytime you're playing a tusk, tree, clock, whatever it is, you want to play this tree line and honestly have patience. The CM plays really poorly here and steps up into melee range or attack range of Tiny and gets clubbed down. He's going to throw the last charge of the tree grab when he's out of attack range, and that's half of CM's health. Which is why I honestly despise the fact that people still take Avalanche nowadays. Tree grab just gives you the capability to actually zone out the position 5 and not be a completely useless bot. On top of that, he ships out a second sentry ward in the lane immediately and dewards the large camp. Of course, he's not going to actually get the camp, but this kind of baits the Crystal Maiden over and enables them to put a lot of pressure on her and end up actually getting first blood. I mean, this is massive, right? So the second sentry ward baits the Crystal Maiden over to block the camp, and because of his good early harass, they pick up a major kill. From there, it's kind of the same thing. He's just playing the tree line, right? Looking for auto attacks from the side and then returning back to the tree line. All you're really looking to do, because at the end of the day, you have 0 armor on Tiny in specific. You have 0 armor, so you just don't trade well at all. So instead, you just kind of are looking to make sure the position 5 isn't doing much. As long as your offlaner has a one-on-one, you're chilling. Then he hits a relatively early level 2 and they pick up another kill on the enemy safe laner after pushing the CM towards the small camp. From there, he rushes Clarity and a stick. When you're not rushing mana boots, you definitely have to buy stick and clarities to make sure you can sustain your mana pool. Otherwise, you just really won't be able to cast your spells much at all, as he's actually already consumed both of his mangoes. From there, he's going to look for any opportunity to get on top of the Crystal Maiden. This is kind of just a lane thing. He knows and is very smart about the fact that Crystal Maiden just feeds to Snap Tiny. It's one of those supports with just such a low HP pool that it's very abusable, and what a toss under the tower. Such a heads up play to get the last bit of damage and take out the Crystal Maiden. From there, if I'm him, I'm probably looking at the large camp. You know what I mean? He definitely has the option to pull the lane back if it shoves in. At the current point in time, the lane is already kind of towards their tier 1 tower and will likely stay there, so he doesn't have to prioritize the large pull. Instead, he can kind of just sit around and wait for another Clarity to ship out, as he ships out actually a Clarity and a Mango. Now this Crystal Maiden, this CM is so bad. I mean, whatever. So CM, I don't know, getting caught again. You might be like, oh, CM's just griefing this lane as, look at the side pull, perfect. I mean, the execution of this lane is frankly beautiful, right? It's just beautiful. Everything is lining up. He's getting the kill attempts on CM, he's getting the harass on CM, he's getting the side pulls when he needs it, he's blocking the camps necessary. It's exactly what you want to see. Now, at this point, he's not picking up tree grab because he can kind of just wait. He's waiting for maybe an opportunity to catch Arc here. They definitely could kill him from full HP, so they kind of just need to find him and toss him onto the snap, and he can look for a kill, and that's what he's doing. Some games you can roam mid, and perhaps he will roam mid to contest the 6-minute rune. We'll have to see, as no, okay, he bumps into CM. I would definitely imagine that he'll consider roaming to the 6-minute rune, but no, he's actually just going to stick on the CM. and kill her off again. And I really don't mind this strategy. I think a lot of 4 players think like once it gets towards the rune timer, you have to roam, as I was kind of mentioning. You don't have to roam. If you can kill the position 5 over and over again, your offlaner is going to be huge. I mean, look at the reality. It's a 1,100 gold lead on the enemy Arc Warden. Now, moving towards the 7-minute mark, I think this is where things slow down a little bit, but I do want to put an emphasis on his warding and how they play around this ward. They're going to make a really awesome play around the 9-minute mark, and it's going to show you guys the importance of observer wards and playing around them. So he puts down a sentry, and he's just kind of checking for any sort of deep vision before he puts down the ward. It's a pretty standard play. Maybe he should have checked the hill before placing this ward, just because perhaps he's scouted here, but he places this nice deep ward. And what I really like about this ops in particular is it doesn't get scouted by the sentry hill ward. Right, if someone puts a sentry on the hill, it will not get scouted. So I do like it for that reason. He ends up getting kind of found out by the Crystal Maiden, and so he's going to have to chill. And he's going to make his way, throws the tree grab to scout the hill, moseys on around a bit, gets mech'd. But eventually they're going to make their way back towards his ops. They see a Crystal Maiden shifting over, and he definitely makes some sort of call to find the CM. On top of that, what's really beautiful is he checks the CM's items to see if she wards. He immediately scouts out the fact that they do have a ward there and is currently just camping Snapfire to guarantee she can secure the tower. Once Snapfire is close to securing the tower after the glyph gets forced out, they're going to move towards the Crystal Maiden and eventually look for a kill. And once again, he's just so damn good at checking for the observer wards. Another thing that I think he does well is he's just kind of good at reading the overall movement of the enemy support. I mean, this CM is definitely not a 5 player. There's no doubt in my mind this is some carry who got booted to 5, because he's just chucking down wards without scouting things out. And at the highest level, you get punished for that. Immediately it gets dewarded. He puts down the sentry. Gets denied. Okay, at least she did that right. Gets denied, toss up, and he's gonna look for a kill. Now, they end up getting scouted out by the Batrider, but because of the fact that they got the jump on the CM, they're able to take her out. And then nice TP from the Snapfire in a moment from now. Beautiful stuff, and that's just such a high skill set of events. From there, he makes a TP to the top lane. It's just a pretty standard TP. Anytime a major spell is committed by the enemy off lane, you can definitely commit your TP, because even if, let's say, you don't get a return kill, you're probably going to save them, and that's a really nice play when they are committing such a big spell like Doom. In this case, I love what he does. So in the blink of an eye, he turns and avalanches the Crystal Maiden, nuking her and preventing her from getting away. That's going to lead to a nice little double kill. At this point, his mid laner is snowballing really hard, and he's super strong. Maxed out avalanche is like a major timing for this hero. It really does allow to kill people quickly. Now, in this play, I'm actually surprised he didn't combo the Crystal Maiden. I feel like it would have been ward damage than doing a toss into a delayed avalanche, but I can kind of get the vibe, right? Toss into delayed avalanche is way more control and overall way more stun. However, if you're bursting low HP heroes, or a hero that has been harassed and is low HP as a result of that, it's a good idea to combo them. Otherwise, you actually rarely combo, like nuke on tiny support. So it's good that he's staggering. From there, it's about playing the mid lane and playing around your strong hero as a position 4. That's typically what you're looking to do. So this game, honestly, they have a really nice ball of 4. Every single one of their heroes is online at this point. The Undying is strong, the Cuddle is strong, Snapfire is very strong. So he's just going to wait for his news to come up. Stormstormer TP's in on his Batrider, and he just has to chill. I will admit, I would have actually liked to see him play the tree line a bit more here. He could communicate to his Snapfire in a moment that Batrider has TP'd in, and if he hides off here, he could say Batrider TP's, Avalanche in 1, Snap ulti on my Avalanche, and they'd actually take him out that way. So I definitely would have, and he's pinging it out now. So nice cookie, they're going to chase. There it is. Combo, a little bit delayed. I think they could have played it a bit better. Are they going to get the kill? Yeah. A little bit delayed. I think they could have played it better. I think he could have stayed out of vision for a bit longer, but you can see overall the ideas are there. The mech comes out, saving the Caudal, and their abilities are back up. Now, quickly, he TP's top, and they want to shut down this tower push. Looks like Doom's going to unfortunately complete the tower push, but it's a really high skill play. All he has to do is hold toss. Oh, that was so close. Oh, I definitely don't think he was supposed to stun just in case he could TP out like that, but all right, it worked out. At this point, he's very close to Blink Dagger, and that kill put him, well, even closer to Blink Dagger. This is going to be a 13-minute Blink Dagger, which is obscenely early. The average is typically around 17, 18. I mean, this is disgustingly early for a Blink Dagger. Now, on your Blink Dagger timing, the play is actually generally very easy on Tiny. If the mid tier 1 stands, just smoke and kill someone near the tier 1 mid. It's going to get you the tower and likely a big kill. Now, I actually think he shouldn't blink on Tiny here. I even think he should hide his blink here. I believe the best possible play is to stay in the trees and not really give any sort of inkling to the enemy team or information to the enemy team that you could be making this play. Like even that smoke might have been caught. They perhaps, yeah, they might have seen the coddle, but like I don't mind them. Okay, they're actually going to bump into the arc, so that's a way better kill than the Crystal Maiden on mid wave. But yeah, you find a kill around the mid lane and then you take the tower. It's a very straightforward play, extremely effective, and something you can coordinate very easily. Just say, hey, go kill mid. You don't even need a smoke. Like when it comes to the mid lane, if it's nighttime, that's fine too. Like it's about to be nighttime in a bit. So if you get your blink from minute 15 to minute 20, it's just as easy. You don't even need a smoke. I mean, they might have a mid ward, but they're probably not paying attention, and a quick toss back is going to win you the mid tower. At this point, what I think Moose is really good at as a player is commanding his team to make 2-man to 3-man kill plays. The average Dota 2 player and average support player, frankly, just plays with the team, and that's all they really know how to do. It's very uncommon to see a position 4 player or a support player make these side lane calls almost ever. Like it's just almost unheard of up until a much higher rank. And so it's something for you guys to think about. When you're getting towards the mid game and your team is having a good game, the enemy team is likely to dodge and run away. Now, of course, if the enemy team is just sitting as 5, you can take a team fight. But if you get the read, which is the hard part, if you get the read that they're split pushing and you can make the pickoff play, for instance here, he makes the call that the Batrider is pushing in top and he's going to look to pick him off, right? Batrider is unfortunately Stormstormer, so he at first makes the really high skill play and actually does end up TPing out. So unluckily, the play does not work. Let's see if they actually had an obs on them. No, Stormstormer is just a beast. He makes the read. Gets kind of the vibe that perhaps they're camping him there and does TP out. Now, to nearly end off the video, we're going to see a clean, well, actually, the first initiation isn't clean. But what I love about this gameplay is he clearly understands the limit of initiation. I think for most players, they kind of just jump at random points. There's not much of a thought process behind it. And that's like obscenely wrong. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh, my team's grouped up, let me just go on someone. But you'll see in this clip here, he's dewarding, which I think is pretty risky. The entirety of the enemy team is up. He even stops hitting it, which I think is correct. He's probably not supposed to hit it at all. But okay, he's chilling, his coddle's not here. So the only thing he has to keep in mind is that arguably his strongest hero, the mid coddle, who's extremely high net worth, is not here. So if they are going to take a fight, it's a 4v5. Assuming the enemy team is all here. So they end up showing in a moment, right? The enemy team is going to show, and he makes the jump. I'll pause in a second. So he makes the jump. However, he's very quick, even though it could be better, like, right? It could be better. He could quickly identify, hey, my team is running the bottom. They're kind of backing off from this play. Even though he's not perfect about it, he has the discipline because none of them are looking for the initiation because that's not their job. He is. So he kind of gets stuck in that, goes for the initiation, but then makes the correct play, the really high skill play, to back off, right? A lot of people would have ran forward, but they don't have, he wasn't in toss range, and they didn't have the team backing him up. There was actually no one to even toss to, right? There's no one looking for the follow-up. So then eventually Ursa's going to go in, and I actually think his best play is to literally do nothing. You have to just, at this point, I honestly think even walking forward there is potentially a slight mistake. You should just do literally nothing because you're not going to walk in and toss. That's not a thing. You just kite the outside and wait your blink. Whatever happens, happens. If you try to run in, you're going to end up having literally no impact. So he kites the outside, doesn't get hit by CM ulti, is looking at his Ursa, kind of waiting for BKBs to wear out, and eventually sees an opportunity to jump, gets the stun off, toss back onto the Arc Warden. Perfect initiation, very beautiful, great toss. Good targeting as well, as he gets hooked. Oh, can he get out? Yeah, okay, nice. Now, in terms of item build, he ends up going Blink into Yules. We're skipping ahead a bit here, but this is what I consider the perfect item build in most games. I think the Yules is interchangeable sometimes. For instance, you can rush Octarine if your game is extremely good. You can go for something like Glimmer if the enemy team is mostly magic damage. I actually think Glimmer is really great with Aether Lens, and it's actually good for initiating. This game, I definitely don't mind the Yules. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's good against CM Frostbite, Batrider, Flux. There's a lot of things you can dispel, and it's also just good against Doom. If he dooms your teammate, you can, if he doesn't BKB right away, you can Yules him and be quick about that. So it's not a bad Yules game. I think the Force is best though. It just helps kite out the Doom in particular. It also is particularly important on Tiny, and I think the main reason why you buy Force is so that you can just have a toss and then kite out, right? You can have a toss and then Force Staff to reset and get off your second initiation, but all right. And also, last thing about items, I think the Aether is important because Blink cast range is like massive. Yes, it helps Avalanche cast range as well, and it's also good technically for Yules and Force Staff, but it's mainly purchased for the Blink cast range. It just allows you to get that initiation on whatever target you want. In this game, most likely the Arc Warden, assuming he doesn't have BKB. And that's something to note, right? You have to know who has BKB and who doesn't. So Arc actually does have Pike BKB, so he has to be careful. Pudge does not, Doom does, and Batrider does. So likely, he could go on anyone as long as there's follow-up. You know what I mean? He could just try to toss someone even if they have a BKB, but let's see how it plays out. Now, one of the main benefits of Tiny as a hero is the fact that when you're going high ground or when you're trying to end the game, it's arguably the best support in the game to have, because being able to toss people away from the high ground and towards your team enables the fight to be in a location that won't make your team all die, which is often what happens when you're trying to go high ground. Your team overextends, blah, blah, blah. The Tidehunter tries to ravage 4 people, ends up somehow hitting none of them. Your Storm Spirit zips in and hits no one as well. And then all of a sudden the tier 4s are glyphed and your whole team's dead. Tiny kind of prevents that, right? He goes in, and even though Doom has BKB and his team isn't that close, I don't mind this initiation, because in the late game, BKBs nowadays are a really long cooldown. They're 90 seconds. And so even forcing them out is good, right? He tosses him onto the range creep. Doom naturally is going to panic BKB, even if, I mean, he did need it, but even if he didn't need it, he would click it, right? The Tiny could straight up be alone and he would likely BKB there because he doesn't know, right? He has no clue. He's just afraid. He's getting initiated on. He has to chill. From there, he's going to wait on his overwhelming blink, which I actually feel like should have been an Octarine core, whatever. That's it does cancel blinks, but he finds a 2-man toss onto the backline and goes on them. From there, he just wants to run away. It's all about forcing out the Hurricane Pike, the BKB, which he gets both of, just forcing everything out and then waiting. Even here, I actually think he should be slightly further away, just making sure his blink doesn't get canceled, but he's, now that his blink is up, looking for any opportunity where he can blink toss and someone is there for the follow-up. Finds the Batrider, toss onto the Ursa, and they're going to find another kill. I mean, it's just beautiful stuff. Kiting in and out, playing very clean, not overforcing the issue, and every toss is a toss back, right? A lot of people just toss up. It's incredibly wrong, right? Incredibly wrong. All right, and that's going to be about all for today's video. Hopefully you learned quite a bit about Tiny, the laning stage, making moves, playing around wards, checking wards, initiation near the high ground, forcing BKBs, and a bunch of other concepts that are just going to make you guys much, much better Dota players. Nonetheless, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.